where you get yourself like the one thing that you absolutely wanted or, have to have.
Yeah.
I did that 3 times. And then I thought, you know what, I'm done. And maybe that's the case. I don't know. It's still not Cyber Monday. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. Although, historically, Cyber Monday deals are either the same deals that you had on Black Friday.
Extended.
Or just like a little bit worse.
Yeah. Somehow.
It's the same thing, but for like $10 more than it was on sale.
I don't like being scammed, but maybe that's just me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lights, Camera, Nonsense, where we give you all the latest movie news you may have missed. I'm Nick. Finished moving in Simmons. I'm done moving. I'm never moving again. I'm bad at this.
And I'm a quarter way through a black coffee, Zach Smith. And that's about as little effort as I can muster out.
Yeah, that's black. That's not black coffee. That's soda.
No, it isn't. It's black coffee.
Oh,
You can smell it.
No. Yeah, it smells. All right, it's fine. It's coffee. And on November 30th, 2019, let's roll into the previews. Zach, what have you been watching?
Well, I watched a couple things this past week, Nick.
Busy boy.
I mean, I had half the week off.
Oh, okay. Well,
not super busy.
Brag about it.
Yeah. This is the first time in 13 years, as I think I said last week.
Oh.
That I have not worked a Black Friday.
So you definitely took advantage of it.
I did,
for sure.
yes.
Okay.
For stuff I watched a movie, which I know you also watched, so I'll wait till you bring it up to discuss it. You walked in here, and I was watching more of the Imagineering story on Disney Plus, so that's going about the same as it was.
It looks like you're watching an old VHS.
Well, it's footage from, I believe, the early 90s or late 80s. They're talking about Epcot right now, so...
Ooh, the big space ball?
Well, that's Spaceship Earth.
Oh. Well, it's Spaceship Earth now. It used to be Epcot.
No, the whole park is Epcot. It's always been Spaceship Earth. The dome thing, that's always been Spaceship Earth.
I haven't been to Disney World or Lands or wherever the fuck. I don't know where it is.
So, yeah, still watching that. Still watching my DuckTales while I work out.
DuckTales.
I watched the most recent episode of The Mandalorian, which you did not watch.
I haven't. No, I've been busy.
I won't go too much into it, but I will say it takes a bit of a step back in terms of, like, the previous episode got a little off the rails in terms of, like, all that stuff going down. And this is kind of a more metered, slower episode.
Okay.
But I like the character development in it, and I appreciated the step back. Just to kind of take a breather.
And it's almost over, isn't it?
2 more episodes. This episode was the episode that Bryce Dallas Howard directed.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
Very good. And then I also watched the new animated Harley Quinn show on DC Universe.
Okay.
I will be doing weekly reviews for a local comic shop. I've done reviews for them in the past.
Cool. You
can check them out at explorethemultiverse.com. They're a great shop, full of great people. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of looking forward to it because if there's one thing DC generally excels at, it's their animated stuff.
Yeah.
Young Justice is great, and that's on DC Universe too. So I don't know if I necessarily had high hopes for Harley Quinn, but I was looking forward to it in a manner. And sure enough, it's pretty good.
It doesn't come off as like pretentious or like we're trying to be cool with the young kids.
No, I will say, and I go into this a little bit on my review. It's tempting to label it as a show that was written by a 13-year-old. Because goddamn, is it weird in the first 5 minutes when Harley drops like 10 F-bombs and 50 shits, and there's at one point she talks about how she's pretty sure Batman has sex with bats. And it's violent too. Yeah. Like in the opening scene, Joker is literally taking someone's face that like his whole head basically, but just the face part.
Yeah.
Just kind of ripping it off like a Scooby-Doo villain.
Eesh.
Off of his head.
Ouch. Ouchies.
Yeah. So not for the kiddos.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And
I want that on a t-shirt.
Not for the kiddos, but it's fun.
Man.
And yeah, it definitely doesn't take itself seriously. It does, obviously, with the subject matter, it delves into themes of like emotional abuse and toxic relationships and stuff like that, which is par for the course for any Harley Joker media at this point.
Yeah.
But it's a 20-minute animated adult humor show. I'm not expecting like genius out of it.
So far, would you say it's better than all of the Harley Quinn stuff recently, like Suicide Squad or?
Absolutely.
Okay, already.
I mean, I can't for sure say anything about Birds of Prey because it's not out yet.
Yeah.
But I certainly enjoyed it more than that trailer. So.
Oh, okay.
And I for damn sure enjoyed it more than Suicide Squad.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, I just watched the movie, which we'll get into. Nick, what did you watch?
I've been very busy watching a lot of movies. Yeah. So I watched Noelle on Disney Plus.
Oh, how was that? Casey didn't even want to watch that one. So
it's good. It's written for like families, like good Christian wholesome families, whatever. But I watched that just because I like Anna Kendrick. I like stuff that she's in. I think she's funny and whimsical. The writing is kind of quirky and stuff, but again, it's a family Disney movie. There's Mickey Mouse heads all over the place.
Yeah.
It kind of dragged in the middle with the plot and everything, but they were just trying to make, I guess, a new Santa Claus franchise maybe builder.
Right.
But I knew the twist of the movie within 4 minutes of the beginning of the movie. So it was very predictable, but
it's not supposed to be like high art or
no, it's not going to blow anyone's minds if you're going in for a very expository film, or you're not getting a good plot, but it's fun. And I've been watching the regular shows that I've been.
For a second, I thought you were saying I've been watching regular show,
which
is a different conversation.
That's a good show.
It was a good show. Yeah.
But I've been watching all the shows that I've said over the last couple of episodes that I've been watching, or had the time to because I've been working, and then I moved these last couple of days, so I've been busy with that. So that's why I wasn't able to watch The Mandalorian. Yeah. However, okay, so I wasn't able to watch The Mandalorian, but I did watch the latest episode of The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Nice.
So I guess my priorities are there.
Yes, well, you said it before, you considered it the more
the pinnacle.
Pressing, the pressing show to watch.
Well, here's the thing. It was because some of the episodes have cool subject matter that I kind of want to learn the world about. This episode was about denim.
Yum.
Denim jeans. Yeah. That's a spicy piece of content there. So it was just Jeff Goldblum talking to people about blue jeans.
Well, and at the very least, at the end of the day, you're getting more Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Someone else behind the camera or in front of the camera might be a little different.
Half the fun is watching interviews where he's interviewing the people and they're trying to describe the subject matter to him, but then they don't know how to react to his Goldblumisms.
Right.
Where he'll start like singing Over the Rainbow at one point, and everyone's like,
do we let him finish?
We're at a gay cowboy bar in Dallas, and we don't know how to react to this. So, but yeah, it's good. It's a cool, fun little documentary show. That's quick. I should have watched Mandalorian instead of that, but
I don't know. I think that's an okay trade-off. Mandalorian's still going to be there, man.
Yeah, but
and you're actually doing it the smart way because now you'll have less time to wait until the next one.
Okay, yeah, I guess. But again, I was also watching it because the person that was I had someone talking to me at the same time, so I didn't mind Jeff Goldblum also being in the background if I missed something from that. But if Mandalorian, I'm all in.
Right.
I can't miss anything. Shut up. Get out of my face. Get out of my life. You're no longer my mom. So I've been watching that, and then the final one. I think we're talking about the same thing. I watched Knives Out.
You saw something else, though.
What else are you? What?
Are you being coy? Or
I'm not.
I can't
no,
tell.
I really don't know. I don't remember. It's not a bit.
I thought you saw Frozen.
Oh, I did see Frozen.
There's always one thing you forget.
Okay, so there's a reason why I didn't remember watching Frozen, but I remember watching Knives Out. Well, I watched Frozen before. It was literally the day after we finished recording.
Yeah.
So it was a week ago. So get off my back. It's a whole week.
You need to keep track of everything you watch.
No, I mean I guess I could check my Instagram to see which tickets I take pictures of. That's Instagram.com/newscenterfair. No one's gonna follow me for that. So I went to go see Frozen 2. I guess I'll go to Frozen 2. It was definitely a movie.
It is a movie. Yep.
So
now, should you preface this by saying you are not like a big animated?
I'm not an animated kids movie watcher. I kind of watched it just to, I guess, get ahead of the songs that are gonna get stuck in my head, which ended up screwing me up at work.
Kind of a similar thing to why you went and saw Toy Story, because you just felt like you had to.
I felt compelled to because I grew up watching Toy Story. Whereas Frozen, it's kind of different because this is only the second one.
It's like a zeitgeist thing.
I guess, yeah. And I kind of wanted to associate the songs with the scenes that are in them.
Yeah.
The soundtrack for Frozen 2 is about as good as the first one. Like, there's always going to be one or two songs that stand out amongst all the other ones.
Right.
I think there's definitely more contention for which ones are more popular. But my biggest complaint about Frozen 2, I don't think I'm going to spoil anything, but there's not really an antagonist at all. An antagonistic force at all.
Yeah, I mean, there is, in the sense of, like, they're trying to find out what that antagonistic force is. Like, it's like a mystery sort of thing they're trying to uncover.
I mean, okay, so as I was watching the movie, so I'm already pulled out.
Yeah.
But a kid's movie, I don't care. I'm not invested. Songs are catchy, though. The entire time I was trying to figure out, okay, what is the protagonist? You have the man versus nature, man versus man, man versus self, which is probably the closest, I would say, to the end result of what this is.
Right.
But at the same time, it felt like they took what already felt like kind of a bloated story in the middle and twist towards the end that I guessed a mile away. Of course, kids movie again.
Right. Yeah.
I felt like they had another story that they swapped out for this one. Like, there was definitely an idea for this.
Specifically, or are you just thinking, like, in general, you felt like this was the second go-around?
I felt like this was the second go. This was definitely the third or fourth draft for this film. Like, they probably had a lot of ideas. The storyboard was really big for this. It's Disney. But I felt like they were so close to getting a better sequel. Kind of make a darker, more personal story, for sure. And they hit a lot of those highlights, but it just wasn't. It just felt kind of off.
Okay.
It felt kind of
Yeah.
Extra. Olaf is still the best character in the movie, though. You saw it, right?
I mean, I did. Yeah.
When he recaps the first
movie, that
movie,
is a great scene.
I like that scene.
But I felt like the best part of that scene where he's recapping the events of the first movie to people who don't know those events.
Yeah, and it's Sterling K. Brown's character.
Their reactions are the best part of that. No, it's not Olaf. It's just
Sterling K.
other
Brown.
People. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh my god!
Oh, he was great in that. Voice acting and the acting in general is great. Visuals are obviously amazing because
and like
the water effects.
Well, and the original Frozen already was like almost a masterclass in terms of like incidental animations. Like, I remember walking out of the first Frozen, and there's that whole beginning scene where Anna is running through like the town when they open up the gates, and she's like, doing her first song, her
bell song, basically.
Yeah. And there's like these little things where she's like bumping into things, or like little character touches here and there, and I'm thinking like someone's probably spent like a month on that. Yeah, well, maybe not a month, but like 2 weeks on that. Just that little small animation.
Character bumping into another one.
And like I couldn't conceive that they would be able to do better than that after that Frozen, but
They had to top themselves.
There's even more in this, and like the visuals are stunning. And frankly, some of when Elsa's doing her doing Into the Unknown, and it's in that whole black space where she's getting like all the visual.
It's very
stuff.
It reminded me a lot of classic Disney movies where they would use that. They would use a blank slate and then use kind of painted arts to visualize dreams or personal.
I will say on the negative side of the animation, there, especially in Into the Unknown, which they have obviously geared up to be the next Let It Go.
Be. Wait,
not Let It Be.
Let
That's
It
Paul
Be.
McCartney.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Beatles.
They want this song to be the new Let It Go.
Yeah.
And there's parts of when she's doing that song where they're legit just reusing key animations. Mm-hmm. Like she's throwing open the door and like kind of like lunging out.
What, from like Frozen 1?
I don't know if they're maybe not like reusing key animations, but they're doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. She's doing the same motions, and that just kind of was like, And those are little things. It's like an incidental complaint, but yeah, that kind of took me out of it because I was like, it's like the exact same motion she did in that.
I was going to say, maybe not Into the Unknown, but it was definitely one of the songs that I thought was catchy, but it was the other song. Hold on, let me look it up. Whoa, okay.
When she's at the end?
At the very end when she's in the final place. What's Show Yourself.
Yeah.
That definitely felt like a more like her letting her hair down and everything. But the siren call in Into the Unknown it got caught in my head, so I would constantly hear it, and my brain would attach to other songs as I was working. I was like, oh my gosh, okay.
I don't necessarily think I came out of it as negative as you do. I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought that it was a good progression for the characters. You know, with animated sequels, there's a tendency to kind of just remain stagnant. Yeah. It's just like, oh, you're going on more adventures, and by just the first 30 minutes, there is a very big change in the status quo, and then by the end of it, there certainly is.
Totally flipped, yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to say, like, oh, that's brave to do, but it's different. You know, it's like, it's not fucking, well, we solved all the problems and now we're back to the way everything was. You know?
I felt like a lot of the foreshadowing in the movie was just very, very obvious.
Sure, but, you know, again, as you said yourself, it's a kids'
animated
movie.
Kids movie.
At one point, someone may die, quote unquote, but not really, because it's a kids' movie.
When they're willing to kill people in the first movie, though.
Did they, though?
Yes.
They killed the parents, who are still dead here.
And the villain.
No, he's not. He's not dead? No, he's in prison.
Oh.
Back in the Southern Isles with all his 13 brothers or something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember. I remember back in the day when Disney could kill the villains. Gaston. The hunter guy from Tarzan.
Rough.
Scar. Just about all of them.
Ursula. She did.
Fucking got stabbed. Just about everybody. Post or Princess and the Frog and before. All the villains usually got killed. Try to think of another one.
Well, Lotso is probably dead by now.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was strapped to a semi-truck.
Oh, he was definitely ripped. He was in the most gruesome way possible.
Yeah.
I mean, and not even Pixar movies, just like Disney movies in general. Most of the villains died.
I'm trying to think of... Did you see Incredibles 2?
I guess Jafar, technically. I guess Incredibles 2, yeah, they didn't die, but...
I haven't seen it, so...
you haven't seen it?
Yeah.
No. Not that I can think of, but Incredibles 1.
He didn't die.
He did!
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He got sucked up into a jet engine.
Did he?
Yes.
Was that the cape thing?
It was the cape thing.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure.
Yeah, I don't care enough to watch.
So the other movie that I watched...
hold on. I'm just going to finish up with Frozen real quick.
Okay, fine.
No, I lost it. We might be done with Frozen. Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Shit.
you mentioned that the songs you thought were about as catchy as the ones from the first one. I do think they're catchy. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I feel like they swapped out though, whereas in the first Frozen, the main problem was the story. There were a lot of pretty bad plot holes in the story, and that's why on repeat viewings I don't really like Frozen as much as I did on that first time. But I felt like the songs as a whole, minus that abysmal troll one.
There's one in this one too, which I'm about to point out.
Which one? The Kristoff one?
I love the Kristoff one. The power ballad is fantastic.
That was like an exercise in surrealism that I was not prepared for.
The guy who wrote the songs, Jonathan Groff, was actually worried it was going to get cut.
So I'm actually that was another thing I was going to mention about the music. Within the first big song that they do, Jonathan Groff gets a pretty hefty part in there, and then he has his own song. He didn't have really anything in the first one. I thought that was such a big fucking waste.
Yeah.
Like, this guy has been on Broadway a number of times. And you're literally going to give him, like, a 5-second song about a reindeer?
He helped with Hamilton, didn't he? Or he was part of...
I'm not sure, actually.
I remember looking up his pedigree, but he's definitely worked on Broadway in very famous...
He's esteemed. Like, he's practically, maybe not on the same level as Idina Menzel, but pretty close.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been to Broadway. I don't have that knowledge of the backgrounds and all that.
And what I was saying is that, like, I felt like the songs as a whole in Frozen were more cohesive.
Yeah.
Where the story suffered. But the songs in Frozen 2, while I like many of them, I didn't feel like they were as connected to the narrative. They were just like, let's kind of throw some
important for the scene because they needed.
Yeah, it was based on a scene by scene basis, not as a narrative structure as a whole. But the trade off of that is I felt the story was way more cohesive. There's only one big plot hole that Casey and I came up with. That's a very big spoiler, so I can't go into it now.
Okay. Tell me after.
I'll tell you after.
Because I feel, when I came out of the movie, I'm like, there are plot holes here, but I don't care enough to try to think about it.
Well, and, like, we could really only think of one big one. But even then, it's like, as a whole, the narrative is fine.
Animated kids movie.
Yeah, and it's much more... well crafted, I feel, than the first one, which was like it's kind of all over the place in terms of structure.
It was an origin story.
What were you going to say about the song you didn't like?
The reindeers are better than people.
The Redux,
the redo,
yeah. Well, that was the one. That was the thing he did in the first one, and
they just extended it.
Yeah,
we feel bad. So here's the same song again, and I kind of like the covers that they did on the deluxe edition for. Because you got
they had
Weezer, Panic at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco was we were sitting through the credits and they do Panic at the Disco's cover for Into the Unknown, and the whole time I'm just sitting there like, that sounds like Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, and
then their credits roll on. Like, oh, all right.
But I like how Weezer did Lost in the Woods, and then Casey Musgraves did All Is Found. But yeah, I mean, Frozen 2 it's okay. A lot. I know I'm going to be in the minority.
Well, and it's all about what you like, right?
Yeah.
You know, you've stated numerous times you're not big on that, not genre, but I guess genre
of children's films, or family films,
which is fine.
Yeah, but I'll watch Noelle and be totally fine with it. There's not even any songs in that, and it's a fucking Disney movie.
So you watched moving on. You watched Knives Out.
Yeah, the other movie that I watched was Knives Out. So it's a whodunit. Mystery crime film. Written and directed by Rian Johnson. I almost said Rian again, but it's
an easy hole to fall into. I don't blame you.
It's as big as the dot in the eye. But this is kind of it's for him. It both is and isn't kind of a comeback after Last Jedi, because there's definitely still that. What is the name of it? What's the word? People are still pissed at him for Last Jedi.
It's like polarizing?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're always going to be because it's Star Wars. The fandom is just...
So is it is he doing the same thing where he's trying to subvert your expectations? For the sake of it?
Yes. Actually, just yes. Yeah. He wrote a character into the movie to signify and portray the internet trolls for Star Wars The Last Jedi. And that character has 2 lines.
You know, not to take the side of... and I just recently learned that this was a term which... have you heard that the term for these people who are still up in arms about anything Star Wars is called the fandom menace? Are you familiar with this?
I have heard the pun before, but I didn't know that was a legitimate thing.
They're legitimately going by it, and that just...
the trolls who are like overprotective of it?
Yeah. They're using it, they're reclaiming it, I guess. I don't know.
They're just movies.
So not to take their side, because I don't want to do that. But that seems really petty.
Yeah.
It's like punching down.
It's very Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. They're just movies.
Yeah.
They're just movies. I'll say that about anything that I enjoy, any movie that I enjoy. I'm like, they're just movies. Blade Runner, just movie.
I read a interview, actually, just within the last week from J.J. Abrams, who was talking about, the toxic internet fans. And he's like, it's hard for me to be in the mindset of where like 1 or 2 things go wrong, or even just a full movie goes wrong in a franchise, and that changes my love for something. Like, and he made this comparison to, people get married and you're not going to agree with 100% of the things that your partner does.
Yeah, that's why you're
day in, day out.
Different people.
But at the end of the day, you still love each other, and the idea of comparing a marriage to your love of Star Wars is a little iffy. But I'd
say it's on par.
I think the sentiment stands. We've said it several times. We're not the hugest fans of The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
but we're still excited.
Oh yeah, I'm still gonna watch Rise of Skywalker. Everyone will.
We're going first day release.
Yeah, Thursday.
I took the day off from work.
I need to. Yeah, I should probably do that. Actually, it'll be after my shift, so that should be fine.
There you go. It's like that was a very simple concept and like point of view that I actually hadn't heard.
It's not worth
a whole lot.
It's not worth losing your hair over a movie franchise that, even if you grew up watching the original movies in the theaters, like our parents' age. And they grew up watching them in theaters. They're watching every single one. They super love them. They have all the action figures, everything. They're just movies.
Right.
They're just movies.
And, I'm one of those people who hates all of the special edition, like editions and all that. I have the last DVD print, not the very last one, but they did a print
of the original
DVD of the originals with the special editions, and it's the only print that you can buy that has the unaltered editions on DVD, and it's like super shitty quality. I think they ripped it from the Laserdisc, Betamax or Laserdisc. I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
And I still watch those over the special editions.
Yeah.
You're always going to have your eccentricities and what you prefer, but it doesn't mean you have to like fucking burn down a city because I don't like Rose Tico.
So one character in one movie. Relax, all right? Not everybody was a fan of insert character's name here.
There are people who don't like Luke Skywalker before Last Jedi. That was a ongoing debate when I was growing up. Is are you a Luke or a Han? And then Luke would be like the goody goody. So you don't want to be Luke.
I mean, he kissed his sister, so
didn't make out with her. Well, kind of.
No,
a little bit.
Don't justify this.
A little bit. They did actually make out a little bit.
So, Knives Out. Love how I knew we were going to get into it, at least for a little bit. It's definitely him trying to just move past it. But also, like I said, he wrote a character for it.
Right, yeah.
And this character is the son of one of the other, several other characters, but he only has 2 lines, and every time they bring up, all the other characters bring up this son, he's a far-right, neo-Nazi, always on the web, like, trolling. Yeah, and he's clean-cut, and everything. And I just felt like all of that was a little on the nose. Those were the few times in the movie when I was pulled out and I was like, okay.
Would you say it's a poor man's version
of Clue?
Well, I was actually talking about the metaphor specifically.
Oh.
Poor man's version of Jojo Rabbit, in which Taika Waititi does a whole movie.
Yeah, but he definitely took that to the extreme in a parody manner.
Right.
Like, everything is comical in that movie, but because everything is turned up to 11. The way that he portrays Hitler. How the fuck did I forget Hitler's name? Okay, well, clearly I was living in the best timeline for all of 5 seconds.
Sorry to ruin that.
Yeah, thank you. But the way that he was portraying that character in such a comically bombastic way,
right.
in the way he was the best friend with a little kid who was just trying to figure out how to be a kid or how to be an adult. It's very obvious.
Right.
Even when you watch the trailer, you're like, okay, well, that's clearly not a serious movie about Hitler being best friends with a kid. Whereas Knives Out is definitely, he takes one little small puzzle piece of this movie where he's trying to tell a totally different story that doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars fandom or his past as a director, and puts a little grudge in his movie.
Yeah.
So, despite all of that, the movie itself is a whodunit where the person is dead before the movie even really kind of starts.
Right.
Like, you see the character's body at the very first scene. Christopher Plummer.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole family was there for his birthday, and then Lakeith Stanfield, an actor whose name I didn't remember, but he plays a hilarious, biggest fan of Christopher Plummer's character, who's a murder mystery writer. And then Daniel Craig, who is the detective, but he's got this southern drawl,
right?
Very foghorn leghorn about it,
yeah.
And it's not a good southern accent.
But is that the point?
It's the point, though. And much like in Logan Lucky, where he plays a similar role or a similar accent, I think everyone is just like, you know what, ham it up, just kind of chew the scenery, because he's supposed to be. And Rian Johnson actually, this is a quote from him. He's an American Poirot.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Is it Poirot?
Perot.
Perot?
Perot. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, not
that's fine.
Belgian. But yeah, he's basically this character who solves mysteries. But it's not really a spoiler. He was hired by a mystery client to solve the murder of this apparent suicide from Christopher Plummer. And I don't want to go into too much detail about the plot, because obviously that's 90% of the story. Right. But you very much figure out what's going on a third of the way through the movie.
Ooh, that's not good.
No, but he flip flops, because you figure out how the character dies about a third of the way through the movie, but then there's other factors into what happens.
Gotcha. Okay. So there's a mystery on top of the mystery.
Yes. Gotcha. So you in a way...
Because I was going to say, a third into the movie, that's really early to know everything that happens.
It's not like me figuring it out, like putting the pieces together in my head. It's literally the story giving you that result, and then there's, behind the scenes stuff. Great acting from everyone. Is it Toni Collette?
Yes.
Toni Collette, Chris Evans, Christopher Plummer, oh my gosh, Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis, Bruce Dern, who's great in Watchmen as well, and who else? Ana de Armas, who's one of the main characters, who I'm glad she's actually getting more work, because she was fantastic in Blade Runner 2049, and she's great in this.
Good deal.
And yeah, I think it's I highly recommend this over a lot of the other movies that are out right now.
Yeah.
Especially Frozen. I mean, fuck that movie. But it's an original property. It's not an adaptation. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot. It's even if it's from a director you don't like. I think we don't get enough whodunit murder mysteries.
For sure. Yeah, they're basically maybe one a year, if that.
I mean, we're getting the Clue remake from Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds. Mm-hmm. So
I am very excited for that.
No matter what happens with that, I think as long as they're both attached in some capacity, I'm fully in.
Yeah,
I'm fully in it.
For sure.
But I really liked it. I thought it could have been. My expectations were subverted, but I came out of it going, that was a good time.
Okay.
I wasn't going like, oh man, that was fucking great. This is one of my favorite movies of the whole year. But it was definitely a good time. And I think an original film where you come out of it that way is...
Yeah. And you're not like, ooh, I just wasted 2 hours of my life.
Yeah, like with Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
So I've had a couple of those movies this year.
You know what we forgot to mention when we were talking about all that?
What?
Was that the audio for the credits cut out
at
the very end.
Yeah.
And just not even at the very end, in the mid.
When
so we didn't even get the mid-credits stinger because it was all silent. So we had to dub over it.
We were trying to, as soon as all of the mid-credit scenes, the things you are kind of excited to see after the conclusion of the film, there's no audio. It cuts out immediately and then they start playing the
Welcome to Newbie.
Yeah, well, the right before the next showing. So
I'm Maria Menounos.
Yeah.
Like, Maria,
I know.
Maria,
get out of my movie. I'm trying to figure out
what happens to these angels.
Are they Charlie's Angels? I don't know. Yeah, I've been busy trying to watch stuff, but those were the two movies I watched. That was the shows I watched.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Should we jump into the news then?
Let's jump into the news then.
All right.
Tip of the hat.
Tip my dick.
Tip. What? Weird. What? Okay.
Okay, starting off strong. I know you're gonna like this one.
Yes.
The Walking Dead spinoff has officially been given a title as The Walking Dead: Worlds Beyond.
World Beyond.
World Beyond.
This is
bad title.
It's a bad title. So there's The Walking Dead.
There's Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and now Walking Dead: World Beyond.
Is this the one with the kids?
Yes.
Okay. Where it's like, hey, we're kids growing up in a post-apocalypse, and
we have school here, but we've never been outside the walls. So.
Oh, World Beyond.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Let's go throw up on a zombie.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible. But you know they're gonna keep it going until
for sure.
Even though
they still have like 50,000 Rick Grimes movies in the works.
Angelique needs to get as far away from this franchise as possible.
I don't know, man. He's getting a pretty smooth payday off of it.
I mean, I guess, but at one point or another, you have to ask yourself, as an actor, where does my integrity end? And how breakable is it?
Well, if you're Norman Reedus, your integrity is...
I'll be a video game character that I can piss in a bottle.
You make fun of it as you're in a video game where when you go to the bathroom... the wall just is covered with Norman Reedus's ride.
He sold his soul.
And the fucking it's amazing when he's taking a shit. The ad comes up and you get a motorcycle rev like a brr, brr, and that's supposed to be the sound of him taking a shit.
I don't want to ever play Death Stranding.
It's great. I love Hideo Kojima.
I don't anymore. It's literally just exactly what you said. Just that small snippet. I hate everything about him now. I feel like there's certain people like I'm not going to rope them together, but Kanye West it comes to mind
hold on,
when I think of people who have artistic fucking they're on their pedestal and they think they can do whatever they want, but then
I think you're reacting the opposite way of what's intended with this. It's not supposed to be serious. He's making
it's called
fun
Death
of
Stranding.
Yeah, I know. And the whole thing is heavy as shit. Well, not heavy as the shit that Norman Reedus is taking, but it's heavy. And then you have fucking poop jokes. It's great.
That's not what I want to pay $60 for.
It's amazing.
Video games are art.
Video games were a mistake.
What other news do you have for me?
Okay, we were talking about Frozen earlier. It had the biggest global opening of all time for an animated movie.
Doesn't surprise me.
With around 350 million on the first weekend. Yeah.
That's for animated movies?
Animated movie. Also in that category, it had the biggest domestic opening in November with 127 million.
For November. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me. It's like telling me the water is wet.
These songs are going to be on the radio for the next, 3 years.
Before we went and saw the movie, like 2 days before, I went into a Walmart I think I was getting like paper towels or something. I don't remember.
Very specific.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly. Maybe soap? Some cleaning thing. I don't know. And they had the Some Things Never Change going, like the very first one with Anna and Olaf, where they're talking about like...
Yeah. I thought you meant like the lullaby.
No. And I was just thinking to myself, God, I would fucking hate it if I were to.
Yeah.
As someone who has worked in a grocery store when they have repeated music over and over and over
or
again.
just about any retail place that sells current
though
products.
When I worked at Best Buy back in the day, that was nice because the Best Buy radio, quote unquote, that we were supposed to get like all of our music through was broken like 90% of the time.
Nice.
So someone would just hook up their iPod. So we just listened to that, which was a little awkward when you had fucking
bitch better have my money.
Bitch, move, bitch, get out the way.
Especially on Black Friday.
That line is closed. Go over there.
Yeah.
Listen to Ludacris. He knows.
Or what is it from Doja Cat? It's "Bitch I'm a Cow."
Bitch I'm a cow. Move.
I said move. I love that song.
Oh God,
she's the best.
Michael B. Jordan has apparently been in talks for a new Superman movie.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Report says that if this were to go through, it probably wouldn't be until around 2023. So it's a ways off.
Yeah. A lot of things can happen.
Well, and it hasn't really moved because of his scheduling conflicts. So
he's busy. He's a busy boy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that comes to fruition in about half a decade.
Yeah. Did you have to check the time or something? Why'd you look over there?
What year is it?
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see because we've had plenty of times where they had plans for a Superman movie and then things fell through. The Nicolas Cage Superman.
Oh God, I would pay money to see that.
Oh yeah.
I would pay an exorbitant amount.
The George Miller Justice League movie.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want sad news or slightly terrifying news?
Oh, give me the sad news.
Okay. That's good because then we'll end on terrifying.
Oh, great.
And you can not sleep for the rest of your life.
Oh.
Sad news. Netflix has canceled Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah. All right.
I think
I enjoyed it.
I think the main host, I can't remember his name. But he was good.
Okay, ringing endorsement.
It was
host whose name I can't remember. Was good.
He was good. It was the Patton Oswalt playing Frank Jr., I think, and then the other lady. I think was it Felicia Day. I don't think it was.
Think so.
But the two villain characters were kind of just over the top cheesy. Yeah. It doesn't really work now in 2019. It worked back then when it was like independent and kitschy and all that, but not anymore.
Yeah, oh.
That's sad, but they have work with riff tracks and all that. The main guys.
And something to consider is that they are very familiar with relocating.
Yeah.
So ideally, it's probably not the last time you're going to see them.
Disney could do it.
The whole reason they were even a thing to get canceled was because of Kickstarter. So I wouldn't be surprised if they needed to go that route again. This news makes me much more sad, and I was pretty sad for Mystery Science Theater 3000. Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh yeah, got delayed.
Has been delayed by 8 months.
Yeah, I think it's actually for the best. Well, one, we should have expected this because the trailer hadn't come out.
Well, that and
no marketing.
They're probably execs are probably panicking a little bit from underperforming on King of Monsters.
King of Monsters. Legendary. What else have they produced recently? Let me look it up.
I think that was the last one, wasn't it? Was King of Monsters?
Well, I know that they were ending their deal with Warner Brothers and doing it themselves.
Right.
Legendary.
Adam Wingard is directing the Kong.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Mainly because of his past films. He directed Death Note.
Yeah.
The American Death Note.
That was a rough one.
Yeah, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Little, and Godzilla King of Monsters was the latest one. And Godzilla vs. Kong, and then Dune.
Oh yeah, I forgot they were doing the Dune one.
Jurassic World 3 and Enola Holmes. In the next couple of minutes.
So that's sad.
Yeah.
But like you said, hopefully for the better.
I'm still excited because it's King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah. And I'm still I still stand by the fact that I think King of Monsters was severely criticized in the wrong regards. I think there's plenty wrong with it, but I don't it was not as bad as as critics gave it.
It was one of those times where I went into the movie theater, and when I walked into the actual theater itself to find my seat, I saw how few people there were in there, and it broke my heart.
Yeah.
I mean, I was excited because I had all the room to just spread out and do whatever,
Jizz all over.
No, don't implicate me.
Piss all over.
Yeah, there you go. Because out of excitement for Godzilla.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what.
And also, Ghidorah was scary as fuck.
Oh.
So you just can't help it.
Yeah, it's what happens. I'm like a little puppy. I'm still excited, but I'm kind of nervous with the director.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess all we have to do is wait.
I think it's a better month. I don't know if I said that before. But
I actually think something pretty big was coming out. Let me pull it up. Eternals. Same month.
Fuck. Here's the thing, though. Disney, Marvel, yes. Unknown characters. You can say that about Guardians of the Galaxy, though. I don't know why I'm arguing against myself. Is Eternals the only one?
That's probably the biggest one. Let me look here.
November 20th.
2020. Whoop, not 2020. Not 2022.
2022.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, click on that.
Oh, is that the Pixar one?
No, that's Onward.
No, well, that is a Pixar one, but they were doing
well, that's the Pixar one coming out next year.
Right. Well, and then there's Soul.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Disney. It's not Pixar.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Fuck. 2 Disney movies in November.
Well, they already made fucking $4 billion this year off of their properties, so I think they have the money to afford it.
Oh yeah. Well, that wasn't a fuck for Disney. That was a fuck for
no, I know,
King
but
Kong.
I mean, they have the ability to make a movie and release it once a month if they could.
They could.
And that's what they're doing with Disney Plus.
Uh-huh.
In the background, but yeah, that sucks. But I'll still go see it. It's way more popular overseas. As sad as that is,
true, it is. Yeah.
It does way better, and
it does. Yeah.
I don't know if we could check the box office for King of Monsters, but I don't think it's jumped up from.
It's probably about the same, but I can check it regardless. We have the time.
Yeah.
Fuck, even that still is great.
I know.
It's so good.
It looks amazing. Oh yeah, I didn't watch The Irishman.
Yeah, I don't know.
I told myself I was going to commit to it, but then I got caught up with Thanksgiving and everything else, and I was like, I'm going to watch The Irishman. I sat down to watch it, and then immediately turned on Noel. So that's what I did.
Yeah. All right then.
Well, one's a much bigger commitment, and I'm not a big fan of Martin Scorsese right now, so. It's not. I'm not.
No, that wasn't a to you. I'm looking at the numbers.
No. I was just going to say, it's not. I'm not a fan of Martin Scorsese, not because of his opinions about Marvel movies, but because of the way that he stated them.
Sure.
And the way that he's standing by it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, King of Monsters domestically did 110.5 million,
Yikes.
which is bad.
Yes.
International, it did 275.4, which is still not good.
No.
For a total of 385.9.
What was the budget before marketing? Please say 5 million.
Budget was 170 million.
So it would have had to make... I think it literally just barely made its money back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With worldwide gross. Like, they literally...
with
broke
worldwide, because it didn't even hit it with domestic.
No, it would have broke even.
Mm-hmm.
That is... Yeah. So it's definitely a big gamble for them.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, it's another one of those where we can just hope for the best. A lot of hope.
Yeah. What was the terrifying news you wanted to give me?
So I actually forgot this one. There is more terrifying news, but there's just a nothing one here. Nickelodeon shows are going to CBS All Access as part of a merger.
So it's all Nickelodeon shows? It's like Rocko's Modern Life? Like the Netflix ones too?
Other than the things that are on Netflix.
Yeah.
So they did like the Invader Zim special, they did the Rocko special, and then they're doing the Squidward spinoff.
Oh, yeah.
So those are still gonna be there, but the back catalog of all the old SpongeBob,
all the good SpongeBob?
Yeah. Those are going to CBS All Access.
Damn it.
So they're just kind of all over the place. I'm pretty sure there's even one of their properties is on Hulu.
This is the thing about especially people who are craving nostalgia for a specific show. Like, you have so many different subscription services now.
Yep.
If I wanted to watch, old SpongeBob now, I have to get CBS All Access. But if I want to watch an old Disney movie that I grew up watching and enjoying, I have to get Disney Plus.
Yep.
What's happening to cable TV? That's what I want to know. Is we're no longer going to have cable TV at all?
The channels we'll probably still have it for the next couple of years, I would imagine. I'd say minimum 10 years.
Yeah.
Because Turner Broadcasting is still going to want people tuning in live. And, I don't foresee the heavy stuff like sports and like
ESPN.
Yeah. Those are probably going to stay the same.
I guess. So we know that... So Disney Plus doesn't have ads on their content. Netflix doesn't. For like the regular, just normal buy-in price. Hulu does, but you can pay to not have ads.
Right. Or you can do the live TV with Hulu as well.
That's true. Yeah. But does CBS All Access have ads?
I don't know. But you would have to ask someone who's actually tried CBS All Access.
Oh, snap. For Star Trek Discovery or The Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
I'm making a face. I'm making a very, ooh, ouch. And then HBO Max will definitely probably not have commercials.
No, I doubt it.
They've never had commercials on their normal programming. So.
No, yeah. But that's part of their premium price. I don't know if you could get away with charging people $15 a month
with ads.
Ads, like that'd be absurd.
The reason I bring up ads and everything is because I'm trying to figure out what is outside of just the monthly subscription services. What is in it for the companies? Like, what's the catch? Outside of nostalgia,
so we actually talked about this a couple weeks ago with the He-Man project that was possibly going to Netflix.
Yeah.
Through Sony, I think it was. Maybe Paramount. I don't remember.
I think it's Paramount.
That there's this kind of scale that companies are going by, judging by whether or not they foresee getting more money just out of a straight up distribution deal, like say with Netflix, like we're going to give you our movie and you distribute it on your platform and you're going to pay us a lump sum for that, or a periodic annual licensing fee, whatever. If they think they can get more money off of that than just releasing it and distributing it themselves into theaters or on their own demand services, whatever, they're going to probably do it because it's all about the bottom line.
Yeah, and they see the whole one lump sum all at once. So obviously, not just people, but like companies in general, which is just
especially if you have a board breathing down your neck because you released something that didn't make a whole lot.
Yeah.
I.e., if I don't know the inner workings of Legendary's board members or anything, but hypothetically, you could assume that after the failing of King of Monsters, that board would go, hey, your next project, don't care what it is, get us in the black.
Yeah.
You're distributing it through Netflix.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. I don't think that would actually happen with a Legendary movie, but it could feasibly happen with a Paramount movie.
Well, because like even short term, that would look better to the board members or at least the the stockholders.
Right. I mean, take Charlie's Angels for instance. $8 million. How do you recover that loss? Maybe sell something.
Yeah.
Get a surplus of 150.
Or sell the rights to the sequel to a streaming service.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. And that's how you get direct to DVD or direct to streaming sequels.
Yep. I mean, we were talking about Beverly Hills Cop 4 and possibly 5 last week.
It's insane.
To our terrifying news. There are 2 terrifying stories this week. One you sent to me.
Because I saw it and I'm like, okay, I don't know if you've seen it, but this...
You texted me like, you better have this on the docket. And my response was... What in the actual fuck?
Because I already knew we were living in the worst timeline, all right? The world we live in right now is a dark and horrible place. But to see this as a headline on Twitter...
And I looked it up, and it's a story on Rolling Stone, too. So it's there. It's for real. Johnny Depp is producing a musical based on Michael Jackson's life. But it's told from the perspective of his glove.
There's so many things wrong with this.
This is like a hodgepodge. I can just see myself in that meeting where they're like, okay, Johnny.
Why?
What do you want to do?
How did you get in here, first of all? Second of all, I'm pretty sure you're Hollywood's social pariah right now. But, come on in, because you'll beat your wife.
So. Tell us what you want to do. I'm thinking Michael Jackson. Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, we can definitely get to... But a musical. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see how that works.
I know musicals. I'm in a band.
There's plenty to pull from his catalog. Yeah, for sure. I bet that'll sell like hotcakes. But it's told from his glove.
The shiny magical glove with cartoon eyes.
It's called For the Love of the Glove. An unauthorized musical fable. It's unauthorized.
For the love of the glove. I'm sorry.
You good?
Yeah. This is just so fucking stupid.
The thing that kills me is the unauthorized part.
Yeah.
Like, Johnny Depp has been holding on to all these secrets. And he wasn't authorized to tell anyone. But he's had enough. He's been pushed too far. He has to tell his truth.
He's been pushed too far. It's a domestic abuser covering the life of a pedophile and his glove that's telling his story.
That is a gross oversimplification.
Well, I'm just saying... The people that okayed this and signed the checks, or will sign the checks, need to get their house in order. Need to think about what they're doing.
January 2020.
January. It's so soon. Is it a Broadway musical, or is it a...
I'm pretty sure it's just a movie, man.
Wait, coming out January 2020?
Yeah.
How are we just now hearing about this? I just saw the headline and the poster. Opening night is sold out. Here's direct quotes from the event ticket provider.
Mm-hmm.
Was Michael Jackson framed for horrible crimes by 4 aliens who were trying to take over Earth by using him as their patsy? Did God turn Michael white to get revenge on Dobney Osmond and the Mormons for teaching that black people were cursed?
What are you reading?
Are Jehovah's Witnesses telling the truth when they teach that masturbating can make you gay? Only one person knows the answers, and everyone thinks he's just a glove. It might be the most effed up musical you'll ever see, and it's got puppets. Come meet the hand that grabbed Michael's gland in Neverland. I want to die. I want to die.
Maybe
and I want to go to a faraway place that's magical and doesn't have this.
Maybe it is a stage show.
I think it's a stage show because where they're performing it by Bazalam Beats Productions at the Center for Inquiry West.
I don't know anything about Los Angeles.
It just says the musical. I feel like it's a stage production.
All right, well.
There's no way this would have been turned into a movie.
Don't say that.
No, okay. Did you hear everything? Like, okay.
Moving on from that nightmare.
Yeah.
Our overlords, Disney, are getting up to some interesting things over in Galaxy's Edge.
What is old Mickey Mouse doing over there in the space land?
Apparently, photos have emerged of these SUV-sized drones that Disney has been building on park property in the shape of X-Wings.
So they're building literal spaceships?
They're building X-Wings.
X-Wings that will fly around.
That will fly around.
That seems dangerous.
It does seem dangerous.
Like a very bad idea.
There's no indication that they'll be frequently used, or they might just be used as like the red carpet,
or have like an air show kind of thing. I could see that.
It is slightly frightening though.
Yeah, if they had an airfield area for it, I have logistically, I haven't been there in a long time, so I don't know the space where, what is it called? Galaxy's Edge,
yes,
is. So I don't know if they have like a large area where they can fly these without like them accidentally crashing on people.
All the pictures are at night after the parks are closed, and it looks like they're doing it in the parking lot.
Okay. This is all a very dangerous.
Imagine if you saw something larger than a Honda Civic just flying through the air like a couple feet above your head.
It would be terrifying. All right, this is why we don't have flying cars, is because people are crazy bad drivers and they crash on the ground. Why would you want to put someone in charge of flying? You said they're drones.
Yes.
Like it would be somebody controlling
it. Yeah. There's no pilot or anything.
So I mean, even then though, you can have somebody like forget to replace the batteries on that thing, and then it crashes into a couple of people.
Just lands on you.
Yeah.
What if it goes out of range? What's the range on these things?
I don't know, but then it crashes on I-5.
You see all those videos of people like who have their iPhones or whatever hooked up to their drones, and then they're like just go slightly out of range, and then boom, they crash into the Hudson.
Doosh. Then they have to sully their way out of that thing.
Yeah.
I want to go to Galaxy's Edge. I'm very curious and interested in trying out the whole Star Wars experience over there. Build a lightsaber, do all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
That's the right reaction.
I don't want to be in the headline of, this drone of an X-Wing crash landed on a guy. He's dead.
Breaking, young man crushed to death by...
Thank you for calling me young man. I appreciate it.
You're the same age as me, so I don't want to be old, man.
Well, we're not young anymore.
Don't say that.
So
that's the it. That's it. That's the it for the news.
That's it for the news. Before we head out, I do want to. It's November 30th, right?
It is.
So it's Black Friday and Thanksgiving are done. How turkey was good?
Turkey was good. My Casey cooked a lovely Thanksgiving meal. I quite enjoyed it.
Delicious.
Yes.
I had way too much. Of course, I passed out. So we did that. We did some shopping. What's right around the corner? What holiday we got? Hanukkah. We're talking about. No. Kwanzaa. Festivus. Christmas is right around the corner. And by right around the corner, I mean already here since Halloween, because that's the world we live in.
It is.
So, naturally, because we're a movie podcast, we're going to talk about Christmas movies.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about several things, like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
Or what qualifies a Christmas movie? And then no.
Yep.
And then we're also going to try to figure out what the ultimate Christmas movie is. That's over the next couple of episodes. But I think what I wanted to talk about was kind of a change in format that we're doing.
Yes, we're going to be switching it up a little bit. So you and I have been talking for the last couple of weeks, and we feel like going bi-weekly is the way we want to go.
We've been producing a lot of content weekly, and it's been really fun doing it weekly and being able to talk about everything, but there are some weeks where we have less to talk about or there's less news. sometimes, and then there's way too much news.
Or there's a really bad perfect storm in which there's very little news and we haven't really watched anything.
Exactly. Like quite a few times we've done that.
Yeah.
And then there's weeks where we just need to kind of take a break. And, we have personal lives outside of the podcast, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to start doing it bi-weekly starting after this episode airs. So you won't see us next week, but it will be the following week after that.
It will be the week of the 14th.
The 14th, I'm sorry.
Is when we'll be back.
The 14th. So we'll be doing that, and the next 2 episodes are going to be Christmas themed.
Yes.
Trying to figure out Christmas shenanigans, like Die Hard not being a Christmas movie. But we just figured we would keep you in the know, and that way when you get an hour and a half podcast, you don't feel obligated to listen to it because it's a lot.
Yeah,
4 episodes of that a month,
and because we're doing it bi-weekly, the news. I've been trying to scale it back over the last couple weeks in preparation. The news will be a little bit more catered, or I guess that's the right word. Selective, maybe.
We'll get the bigger headlines.
Yeah. So it won't be just kind of a stream of I won't be updating Joker every week.
Thank you. It'll be things like that. Well, we're going to try to stay as current as possible. There's obviously going to be big news stories that happens on the week that we obviously don't record something, but then we talk about it next week. So it's okay.
Yeah.
But it'll also be scaled back. We're also going to be we're going to be doing more, what is it? We're doing themes.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing kind of what we did in our previous iteration of the podcast, where we were doing themes every week, kind of topics and stuff we want to talk about. Or specific movie genres or what have you. And then that way we can kind of get more in depth about movies that we want to talk about.
Right, and it'll be a kind of a nice moment. Because I think what we ran into with the first iteration was that we were saying we were going to talk about news, and we kind of did it in a tangential way. So then we incorporated news more so than themes, and
just trying to find the perfect.
But then that was too much, and so I think this is a good way to go for us to be able to kind of get a good bit of everything. Yes, it's very windy over here.
Is it picking up?
A little bit.
Huh. Damn you, wind. But I feel like it'll be a good kind of balance for it, and then obviously we're going to be trying to balance it even more so episode to episode, but hopefully this is going to work out better for our listeners.
Yes.
And I think that's just about it. That covers it. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nick, if you wanted to tell us how excited you are that we were going to be bi-weekly now, where would you send that email?
I would send you pictures of my nipples at lightscameranonsense@gmail.com.
That is correct, at lightscameranonsense@gmail.com.
Yes. Read me an email from that thing.
Hold on.
Leave this all in.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
How many emails do you have?
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
No mail.
Fuck! How much money do I owe you for the amount of weeks that I said, once we got an email, I would pay you the total amount?
Well, lucky for you, I have completely forgotten.
Me too. So. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's I'm all right with that. Any email will do.
Just tell us a story about your dog.
Man. I know. Just send us pictures of cute animals.
Yeah.
We can't really.
Well, we like pictures of cute animals.
I mean,
so
yeah.
We won't really be able to kind of put that over the airwaves, you know, so to speak. But we can record our reactions to said cute animals.
Tell us about the last time that you got angry at someone in front of. Rian Johnson. No, in front of the line. I don't know. Last time you wanted to. I don't know.
We want a hate mail.
Worst movie theater experiences or complaints about movie theater experiences. We feed off that energy.
Yes.
Big movie theater energy.
Especially me, because apparently I'm cursed.
You are cursed.
You know what I will say? I went to a different theater for Frozen. The same chain though. Just a little closer to us.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
It's not that movie theater.
No issues.
I had no issues when I saw Knives Out literally a couple of days ago.
Sure.
No issues. In fact,
Oh yeah, there's no issues today except for the West Wing that's on fire.
It's because you went on the weekend when there's kids there at the worst time.
I have seen so many movies on the weekend, and I have never ran into so many problems.
Oh, shut up and braid your beard hair. lightscameranonsense@gmail.com. Send us any email you want. I don't care. Send us your spam mail.
We'll still be something.
It will be something. All right. And then also, I will be submitting some designs. Black Friday is kind of over, but Christmas is right around the corner for new designs for our merch, for our podcast. You can actually go to, what was it?
Something.
It was tpublic.com/users/lightscameranonsense to find our merch. The link will be in the description. And if you buy them now, I'm pretty sure they're 35% off. They've been 35% off for a while, so it's $13 t-shirts. What a deal.
What a deal.
$8 mugs. Cool. Stickers.
Cool.
Fuck yeah. So yeah, buy our merch as well.
Yeah. Before you read that, just real quick, I want to do one more last plug for ExploreTheMultiverse.com.
Yeah.
Again, you can find a couple of my reviews up for different things. You can actually read all my reviews for the first season of Titans if you so choose. Alternatively, you can read my review for the first episode of Harley Quinn, which I very much enjoyed.
Way more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, they're just a great group of people. So give them a look.
Yeah. Give them a look. You know, give them the stick guy. Tell him we sent you.
Yeah.
Well, this has been Lights Camera Nonsense, keeping you updated despite our best efforts. Tune in every 2 weeks from now on for all the latest news, reviews, and how do you do? Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the 14th.